We are here at the Ranch Sorting National Championships. During this series of episodes, we'll be showing you what the sport of ranch sorting is all about. We'll also introduce you to some of the people who participate in the sport, the people who support the sport, and a little special coverage of a father and daughter team who have only been doing this for 6 months and are competing here at the Ranch Sorting National Championships. So stay tuned, sit back, hold on for the ride. Okay, we are joined by Jim and Haley Darasol. And one thing that's really special here is, of course, this is a father and daughter team who are a long ways from home. But you got into this sport 6 months ago. And not just into this sport, but you started riding 6 months ago. And now I don't know how many times you're entered up down here, but you're pretty serious about this already. That's really neat. Haley, tell me about your horse.
My horse's name is Trigger, and
Trigger.
he's
How
a
old is
Palomino.
He's a Palomino.
He's 7.
7 years old. How long have you had him?
About 3 months.
Yeah. So you're still kind of getting to know him a little bit, kind of figuring out his buttons, and he's kind of trying to figure out you a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so we're going to work together and see if we can't help you and Trigger see eye to eye a little bit more and kind of advance you, hopefully, you know, as you're competing and as you're riding and working with Trigger. Well, you know, we're going to work with these horses, and we're going to see if we can't, you know, just iron out some of the wrinkles. You know, you're both riding great. You get good help at home, and you're riding good horses. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to try to work on the efficiency of how you and your horses are working together, get things working as smooth as we can, because, you know, you want to go in there and you want to have fun, but you want to win some money too. So the better our horses work, you know, the better chance we have of winning our entry fees back. So, well, let's go work on that and see what we can get done.
All right.
Okay. All right, Haley, we're here in the South Arena at the Hardy Murphy Coliseum in Ardmore, Oklahoma. And we're gonna do a few little exercises without a cow to work on the efficiency of how our horse performs and in preparation for you to go compete a little bit, okay? What we're gonna talk about is preparing our horse in a performance position, okay? And a horse's power comes from their hindquarters, where their stopping power and their going power. So we want to make sure that we have a good straight line in the spine from the withers to the tail, okay? And a lot of times we use the head and neck to line up that spine. And how that head and neck come out of the shoulders changes how our horse's body works. So what we want is, we want to come over here against the fence. I'll demonstrate. We want to work on a performance position. Since we work most of our cattle against the fence, we'll pretend that there's a cow over here. The performance position I want is just barely a slight bend in the neck. I just barely want that head coming over here to the right. I don't want too much bend, because that disengages the entire horse, and we need to learn how to ride our horse in an engaged manner. So I'm just going to have a slight bit of bend right there, good straight line from withers to tail. And as soon as I get that, sit quiet in my seat, draw back a step, bring my horse through that turn. Very important that we keep our horses on their hocks through that turn. It's real easy to take a horse and drive them forward, but it's very hard to maintain a horse to be back on their hocks, because it's just not something they do a lot of, okay? So it's something that we need to practice a lot. Here I've got a good performance position. I'm ready for a good turn. I've got slight arc in my horse's neck. I've got withers and tail lined up. What's real important, and what I saw you do earlier when you rode, is you put your horse in a position like this to turn a cow on the fence. And so that caused you to turn into that cow, and you actually carried another cow with you because of that. And you were a little late through that turn, all right? So if we've got that slight arc to the inside, your horse can step underneath itself, and you can leave, you could have left, you had 3 cows that came at once. One was a good cow and 2 trash cows, and unfortunately one of the trash cows came through. But you picked up that 3rd cow with a turn that looked like this, and you picked up the 3rd cow behind you. So if you get that performance position, you'll be able to get a step back underneath your horse. You could have left that cow there, and then you had 2 cows, which is a lot easier to handle for your gait help, okay? All right, does that make sense, the performance position? So you want to go in that position. You're going to use your legs to soften up that rib cage, put that little bit of arc in the neck. Once you got that, then you're going to stop, rock, and roll. Okay, you want to give it a shot?
Sure.
All right, sounds good. Just step on over there, and let's see it. Just start right there at that gate, come all the way around, and just work on putting your horse in that performance position. There you go. Good. We'll do the first one at the walk. Good. Tip that nose slightly to the right. Good. So you want those feet to be stepping right up this way. So I want your hands to be going forward. This is a very forward, there you go, very forward driven event. Good. So that's a good position. So now bring your hands back, sit down deep in your saddle, take your legs off, kind of push down your heels. Those are the gas brakes. Good. Now back your horse up a step. Good. Now turn slow to the right. Okay. So I can see a little bit of an issue with your turn right there. Did you feel how your horse turned? He turned by swinging his hind end around. And so that means that his power unit, his hind quarters, was not underneath him. So if he needed to jump out there and go get that cow, his back end was going that way, so it wouldn't have been able to engage and get this way, okay? So let's go this direction, and we'll come back, we'll work on that some more, okay? Work on that performance position. Good. Keep those hands up right here. Put a little arc on the left side of your horse's body. Lift that left rein up just a little bit more. Tip that nose to the left just a touch. Tip that nose to the left just a touch. There you go. Okay, now stop lightly with your legs and hands. Good. Step back a step. Good. Now take your hands out and then back. Much better turn that direction. Much better turn. Horses have a stiff and hollow side. I think this is the good side on your horse. So we need to really make sure that that right side of your horse is nice and positioned correctly before we ask for the turn, okay? Because the turn and the stop are a result of the position they're in when they approach. Does that make sense? Let's try that one more time this way. Good. Tip that nose a little bit to the right. Good. Now, do you think you can do a counter arc around my horse and then back to the fence?
Maybe.
Okay, keep your hands in that position. Now just walk around my horse and come back to the gate over here. Good. Tip the nose to the right. Keep the nose tipped to the right. There you go. Now ride that horse with your right leg. There you go. Now back onto the fence. Come right up here. Ask your horse to stop with your legs in your seat. So you want to sit like this, okay? If we do too much with our hand, our horse isn't going to be able to see the cow because they're too worried about the bit, all right? All right, we're joined here by Mary and Ed Ray of Mounds, Oklahoma, just south of Tulsa. Ed, Mary, thanks for joining us. And we were told that you guys were some great people to get to know, great people to talk to, and I'd like to know, what is ranch sorting to you?
Oh my gosh, it's become our
obsession.
Obsession. That's a good word for it.
Yeah.
It is what we do. We're retired and we have a ranch and we use our own cattle and we put on the RSNC shows, and it's just been a way for us to meet lots of wonderful people in this.
Right.
In this program, and also it expands our finances on making money on the cows,
Right.
So that's a nice extra bonus. but it has become an obsession. We started out as a hobby. We just set up a couple of round pens, and we had a lot of friends that we rode with, and they came down, and we put a few cows in the arena, and we started playing with it, and now it's grown and grown and grown, and now we're producers, and
Yeah.
we just have a lot of fun, a lot of fun.
And it's taken you all over the country. It's bringing people to you
Yes.
from all over the country. And
Yes.
you were just telling me you're going to be going up the Cheyenne Frontier Days in Wyoming and staying with some new friends you've met up near Yellowstone National Park. It's just really opened up the world for you, hasn't it?
It really has.
We have been so fortunate in our little show. Van Gimmel got us started in the thing, but we have had people drive all the way from Colorado, from Wyoming,
Chicago.
some guys come down from Chicago,
Yeah.
Texas, Missouri. It's been unbelievable how good it's been,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
And had a ball.
Yeah. Yeah.
One thing I would like to point out to people that haven't tried the sport yet is when we started, I was trail riding and he was roping, and you can just take any horse and start out on this. And of course, the more you do it, the more you want to work your way up. So you might change horses along the way, but you can start out with any horse and have a whole lot of fun.
Right.
So, and it's for all ages.
Yeah. You were a team roper and a trail rider. You met each other in passing. Now you share this together.
Now we share.
One more quick question.
Okay.
Do you have any problems competing together as a couple?
You know, I said today was the best run we've ever made together. So you caught us on a real good day.
Today this is a great sport to make your marriage stronger
Boy,
and more
that's
successful.
true. That's true.
Yeah.
It's always been fun. It's always been fun together.
Fantastic. Well, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Hope to see you up in Colorado. I've been associated with RSNC now for about a year and a half, and I've seen the membership grow from a year and a half ago, about 4,000 people, to as of today, the end of June 2011, they've got over 12,000 members, and that's phenomenal growth. I think it speaks volumes for, you know, how exciting the sport is, how much people enjoy it, how much they tell their friends about it. They will have over 4,000 teams competing this week at the championships, and they'll be competing for over $500,000 in cash and prizes. It's just amazing to see something that is growing beyond any single person's influence. It's really taken on a life of its own. I've been really excited to be a part of it. Been doing a lot of clinics all across the country as a result of the association. And more than anything, I've had a chance to meet friends and people that share my same likes and desires of working horses and sport and cattle and whatnot. So it's a great opportunity for people to make friends, to participate, to do something with their friends and family. As a family sport, there's so many people here competing and actually using this as their family vacation. So it's a great honor to be a part of this, and if anybody out there is interested in the ranch sorting, please look them up and become a member. Well, we're back with Haley and Trigger. This is day 2. Yesterday we worked on basically diagnosing some issues that Trigger and Haley were having, and got a good feel watching Haley work with Trigger. But I wanted to get on and feel it for myself so that I could give Haley a better idea of what I was after, and maybe give Trigger a better idea of what we're after. I've had a pretty good ride on him so far this morning, and I think now I'm just going to show Haley what I've been doing, and then I'm going to put Haley on and let her feel the feel that I've been talking about this time, okay? Well, Haley, the biggest issue that we had was was stiffness in the spine. And to get the stiffness out of the spine, we need forward impulsion from the horse, which is drive from the hind end, okay? Without that energy and effort going forward, it's hard to shape the body. And so yesterday, every time you would ask the horse to give to the pull, your horse would stop going forward, and you know, there was not enough impulsion and drive to shape your horse's body. So what I did was I got on your horse. I've got stronger legs, and I didn't pull the nose down. I simply used my legs and built more effort and energy going forward so that I had more effort and energy in the horse to then shape him, all right? And so I've got him doing a counter arc to the left right now. I don't have too much bend in his neck, just slightly. And you can see that my hands are coming in this direction, showing the feet where to go onto the circle. I've got my right rein tightened just a touch with the nose to the outside. My right leg is here in the rib cage, pushing the rib cage over, and my left leg's back here on the hip, pushing the hip to the outside of the circle, keeping the shoulders and the hip on the circle while I manipulate the arc of the horse, okay? Every time this horse gives at the pole, I know that his spine is working. The head and neck are a symptom of how the body is working, okay? So we don't ever want to force the head down without working with the body, because then we get disconnection from the chin to the feet, okay? So once I had this at the walk, then I went ahead and worked on it at the trot. Very important that we have a cadence to our horse. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. That consistency of that cadence, 1, 2, 1, 2, lets us know that our horse has that impulsion. When a horse has that impulsion, they have that effort and energy to be able to shape their body. You can see this horse is being so good today. Trigger is such a nice horse, and pretty too, huh? And so now Trigger's finding the answer. Keep that cadence going up. I ask for that head and neck to give. He gives it to me. I give slack, say thank you, then I can stop. When he stops, he stands 4 feet in concrete, which is very important that we have a horse who has a good solid base under him, so then that he can shift his weight and make turns. And so I'll ask him for just a little turn right here, quarter turn at a time. Much better. He kept his hind end a little bit more stationary, so he's supporting his front end so he can have a nice clean turn and then drive out on a circle. I'll do it again this way, picking my hands up, showing him where the circle's at. He's a little bit over flexed right now, but he'll probably, the more consistent we are, the more he'll start finding just vertical pull, just a horizontal neck. We don't want overflexion. If we have too much overflexion, then we get a horse who's got really slow feet. Good solid stop, 4 feet in concrete. That's what we're after. So now he's got a good base. We talked about yesterday, you play some volleyball, all right? And I played football and basketball, and it was all about having a good athletic stance with your feet shoulder width apart so that you could perform and go at any moment, okay? That's exactly what we're after, especially with our performance horses. As I turn, I want the shoulders to move around the hind legs, a good cow horse turn with the outside leg as the pivot foot. You ready to get on and give it a try? Okay. Okay, Haley. Now we're gonna have you do this and you show Trigger what you want from him. Now it's real important that you maintain a cadence of your horse, which comes from the rhythm of your body. So we're gonna count those steps, 1, 2, 1, 2. That keeps you engaged so that your horse knows to stay engaged, okay? Make sense? All right, let's give it a shot. There you go. There you go. Perfect. Perfect. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Try that again. 1, 2. Now a little slack. Good. Now right over here, just stop. Good. And slack. Very good. 4 feet in concrete. Perfect.